What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we are going to be checking out a title called Subterrain, a title that has a sequel coming up very, very soon. Now, the astute among you might be asking yourself, Splat, why are you playing a game from like 7 years ago right now on what's supposed to be like a new release channel? Well, there's a reason for that. There are no new releases. New releases kind of dead right now. Not a whole lot going on inside of indie gaming, and if there is something going on, it's usually like 1 to 2 games a week, and unfortunately, I have a daily schedule, which means that I have to have something out every single day, so when it's especially slow, like this year has been uncommonly slow, I thought it might be kind of like a fun idea for me to go back through my old backlog of titles that I did when I was a Let's Player, and check them out now with an impressionist's eye and see how they hold up, because some of these old games are pretty rad. I want to go back and take a look at them. So last night, with this idea in mind, I sat down and I started playing Subterrain for about 4 or 5 hours, actually. I played it till about 2 in the morning, and I think I'm ready to render my impressions. So if you've never seen Subterrain before, what exactly is Subterrain? Subterrain is a top-down survival game that takes place on a Martian space base where you were put in jail after being a researcher who was arrested for something. The storyline hasn't told me exactly yet. It's been alluded to that I deserve to be in jail, but it hasn't said exactly why I was inside of space prison as of right now. But slowly the lights start turning off. The oxygen filter stops working. Your jail door just kind of goes slack and is partial the way open and you can't get out, and so you're forced to go into the ventilation shaft, and you find that the entire facility has been taken over by the drooling, hungering undead. There appears to be some kind of infection at play all throughout this location, and it's been evacuated and there's nobody here. It's pretty much just you and the zombies on the space station. And so it's an entire game that actually takes, I think, a very unique approach to survival, in that fighting with the zombies is a major mechanic in this title, but it's not the end-all be-all. This game is actually about maintaining a space station during basically what is the end of the space world. And so we need to swap out oxygen filters, we need to change thermal regulators, we need to repair various facilities to stop the spread of the infection, and you can see that stuff all listed here. This is the world map. Every single one of these locations has 2 to 5 floors, so there's a lot of content to play around with here, so long as you're okay with the fact that the game really doesn't have that many enemy types. There's like some zombies, and there's like a couple different types of mutants that I've seen so far for like the first 5 hours, and there's probably like 3 total enemy types that I've seen. But I haven't really minded because the game has such an in-depth crafting and maintenance system that it's actually pretty fun to play around with. And so each of these locations, you've got a generator that runs off of nukes. You can see it right here. I have to maintain all these cores, so these cores will degrade as time goes along, and I have to swap them out, otherwise our power capacity will go down and we have a chance of a meltdown. I need to go to the Martian map and I can move the power grid around, but things that are unpowered, the infection builds up there and it gets more dangerous, and then it spreads, and then eventually it can get to your base and attack you, and you've got to hold off the undead. And so the game is actually about minutia and fixing a giant Martian space station and trying to cobble it together while using your free time to investigate new locations and find things and increase your chances of survival while trying to keep the global infection level down by keeping as many of the systems and filters and things of that nature running as you possibly can. Now, I've already searched these 4 locations that are around Central. Central is our base. This is where we live at. It's where all of our crafting benches are. It's where all of our research is. It's where all of our main facilities that produce weapons and firearms and armor and drugs and plants and, chemicals, all that kind of stuff, all inside of Central. I've already searched all this stuff, though, so it's time for us to go to the Carson Hotel. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that up, and you can see that it's now been powered. This little line right here means that there's a tramway that runs out there. Our inventory is a little bit full right now, so let me go ahead and take care of that. This is the crafting area of our base. Every single one of these benches has a function, and there's more of them in the next room over, too. This game has a very, very hefty learning curve. That's the one thing. So the game does not explain itself very well, and the game has a very hefty learning curve. I personally am very glad that I stuck with it and actually played through and had a good time with it. However, I think for the vast majority of people that play this game, they're going to get really overwhelmed because this title does not tutorialize you hardly at all. Like, the first time you see any kind of new bench or anything else, a little pop-up will come up, and if you read it, that's fine, but it kind of gives you information without context, and you're gonna have to figure the context out for yourself. But you can research in this area, you can craft in this area, you can repair inside of this area, you can mine inside of this area. Some of that might seem redundant when you play the game because there's also like little mining stations and stuff you can go to. Don't worry about it. You can do everything from this centralized location. There are a number of stats we need to keep maxed out. We've got sleep, we've got hunger, we've got thirst, we've got pooping, we've got peeing. We've also got our power pack, which powers actually my energy rifle right now that I'm shooting enemies with. We've also got armor. We've got oxygen canisters because areas that are unpowered will not have oxygen. Thermal canisters, same thing. Areas that do not have a thermal regulator will be basically void temperature, and so you need that to keep yourself warm and not freeze to death. We've got storage. This is the main input-output facility right here. I am going to grab an oxygen filter before we go anywhere, and then I also need to build, what is that right there? Titanium? Okay. I need to also build an oxygen regulator, and so we need to come in here, and we need to go to the thermal regulator. There we go. Thermal regulator will be done in about 30 minutes. That's game time, not real life time. I've been playing the game for 4 or 5 hours. It's only day 2 in my overall survival adventure. Luckily, this facility comes equipped with all the stuff I need to get all my meters filled back up. I can take a nap. I can eat a snack. My thermal regulator is now done. Quick little 1-hour nap right there. We've got thirst to take care of in a little bit. We've also got hunger, but I think our meters are okay. Let's grab that thermal regulator, and then we're going to head on out to the Carson Hotel and just kind of see how it goes. Now, everything that you use to build is inside this bin right here. So this is raw materials. And then this right here is the output for things that you've successfully crafted. It threw me for a loop the first time I was kind of like in this menu, and it took me a little bit to get used to it. So keep an eye on that. All right, we're about as unencumbered as we possibly can be before we head on out to whatever horrors and monstrosities await us at the Carson Hotel. It's 40 minutes to get there. Let's roll. The Carson Hotel comes up on the distance. Let's hop on out. We have not been anywhere in this location, so it's pretty much dead static. I don't know what we're going to walk into. I don't know what we're going to come across. I don't know what systems are going to be turned on. It looks like the lights are off and there's no power whatsoever, even though I rerouted power here, so the emergency lighting is not on. We're going to need a flashlight this whole time. That's going to be a little bit risky to our power pack. Hopefully we'll pick up another one while we're in the neighborhood. We've got some drinks and stuff over here. I'll actually probably just drink one of these straight out of the machine real fast, just to fill up my water meter since we're already here. But I don't want to load up on consumables before we're even inside the building. You do have line of sight in this game. It is a tremendous generator of, I guess, tension. That's what it's been for me. That's the way that I would put it, is that this game would not be nearly as tense if the line of sight was not as tight as it is. We've got a Class C key card right there. We're definitely going to want that. There are random door... Oh, zombie. Go ahead and take him out. And there we go. We vaporized him. He has left us a blood sample on the ground. We're going to go ahead and take that. Those blood samples and things are going to be indispensable for making sure we have a large supply of cure. We can get affected by the zombie virus in this game. There is a pill that, like, right before the place was evacuated because they were overrun, that they figured out how to manufacture, and we have found that blueprint. Basically, everything you find in this game can be shoved into a research terminal and researched. That way you can produce more of them. I highly recommend that you research thermal regulators. I highly recommend you research medkits. I highly recommend you research decontamination pills, and I highly recommend you also get the oxygen filter before you do anything in this game. Without those 4 things, you're not going to make a lot of progress. Man, lighting is down right now. This is, without a doubt, one of the darkest places I've been in this game. Wait, was there something on the ground right there? What? Where is that at? I don't see it. I guess I'll pick it up. I don't know where it was, though. Was it, like, on the bench? Or, like, under the... Maybe it was under the bench. I don't know. You can move objects in this game by right-clicking and holding and drag stuff around. Occasionally, you'll find, like, secret vents and occasionally you'll find like paths that will take you to places you normally could not access. And so I do recommend sliding furniture around from time to time if you have a moment to do it. Okay, I'm just going to sweep and clear the corridor real fast because I don't want to get punched in my back by anything that might be waiting on us. This game loves to hide its zombies. Elevator is not powered, so we're going to need to find a main power breaker inside pretty much every facility when we get there from the first time. That's going to allow us to swap it over from emergency power, which is just these dim little red lights like you would see on a submarine, into like full lighting. That way we can see. I don't know if that increases the power draw. My gun is very, very inaccurate. There you go. Vaporize that nerd. Perfect. Another zombie down. Let's continue sweeping and clearing. Slice the pie. Oh, back up. Okay. Yep. We also have an energy shield that we can pop with right-click just in case an enemy's on top of us already. Looks like we found ourselves a kitchen, like a cooking area. Okay. Drinking tap water is kind of a bad idea. However, we do have an energy drink inside the fridge. Energy drink inside the fridge. Honestly, I haven't had too much problems with beverages. I've had way more issues finding food. So I'm guessing that's because you can grow your own. We have our own farm back at the central terminal. Because one of the things the game establishes very, very early is that this research colony was built from the ground up to be self-sufficient. So effectively, it's their hand-wavy way of saying you have all the facilities to salvage everything you need to salvage down into bare elements in order to produce anything you may need. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to kill it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to kill it. It can't be a good thing, right? It just can't be. Like, I don't think that weird brain sphere is going to be a pillar of its community. It just feels unlikely to me. But principal items that I'm looking... there we go. That's a day's worth of food right there. You love to see it. There is a limited supply on station in this game of stuff that you can find. So it is a good idea to get your production up and running with all of your facilities so that you can... Oh, lots of drink machines back here. Okay, broken plates, food scraps. The environments seem to be fairly varied from what I've seen so far. There definitely seem to be like 5 or 6 different tile sets that you can get depending on the designation of the location. So if it's like an engineering area, it looks like an engineering area. If it's a cooking area, it looks like a cooking area. This is probably a bathroom would be my guess. Oh, no, it's a trash disposal area. Yeah. All these items that you're seeing that I'm not picking up, those can actually be picked up and salvaged if you take them back for bare baseline minerals and things of that nature that will help you survive. Haven't had too many problems having the things that I need in order to craft the stuff that I want over my adventures inside, I think it's called MPO? MPOPs? It's called something. I forget the name of the station. Our thermal units are running out right now, so we're definitely going to need to get the power on. And then from there, I think we're definitely going to need to find a charge station as well. We've got some kind of weird eyeball monster over there. We'll go and just whack him real quick. My gun's durability is not looking great. We may have to go back to Central and repair a few times, because our resources appear to be running out. There we go. Grab the infected stuff, because we can break those down into kind of like rare things that you make like really nice stuff out of. We've got some kind of spider creature over here. And a zombie. Goody. They're everywhere. And a low oxygen warning. So it sounds like when it rains, it pours at the moment. There you go. Oh, he fired a little... Oh, God, he fired a little missile at me. Okay. Take him out. An explosion of teeth and brains. And now we've got ourselves some more crafting materials. The enemies in this game do respawn in alignment with kind of like the infection level that has taken over that district, so clearing it once is no guarantee that you won't have to clear it again. Some people will probably find that really, really repetitive. I think will probably be a thing that people will come across. But for me, it's kind of kept things interesting, I suppose, so that I'm not just like moving through looting everything without any kind of like pushback from the game universe. We want the decon pill, we want the med kit. The rest of it is just like random legalized space drugs and steroids and things, so... Oh god, oh, he almost got me right there. Almost got me. This game very much likes its corner zombies. I'll tell you that right now. Zombies, you really, really got to check and sweep your sectors when you enter a room or you're going to have a bad time. I'll take the biscuit. We've got a broken plate right there. Don't really need the water. It looks like these are probably just hotel rooms, considering we are actively in a hotel right now. The game does have modular crafting for firearms. This actually seems like it may be a maintenance deck right here. So if we're looking for oxygen generation, power generation, heat generation, this may not be a bad area to look at because this definitely has kind of like an engineering look to it. Get that zombie right there. Go ahead and blast him on up. As I was saying, the game does have a modular weapon building system. Not for melee weapons, but definitely for firearms. You get a receiver, you get a barrel, you can get silencers. You get receivers that are automatic. Ooh, a Class A keycard. Nice. There are generic doors all over the station that you can only open with like a limited number of cards that you can find just here and there. So you find like, you know, A cards, B cards, C cards. And those will get you into other areas. Yeah, my oxygen's going down pretty quick. We may want to go back to the station real fast and top up and maybe even make a couple extra oxygen cans. All right, back at my recharging station at base. All this smoky stuff in the air does not look good, man. It's got to be bad on the old emphysema. We'll grab that right there. I need to take a nap anyways, so I need to have my gun repaired at the Nano Forge. So let's go. The Nano Forge is this big guy over here. It looks like a toilet bowl. We will take you off of me, and we will slot you in right there. It took me forever to realize you could just put that right there and slot it in, and it'll sit there and repair with time. The other thing that we need to do is I need oxygen canisters. Let's make another oxygen canister so that I have 2 of them on me, because oxygen is a much bigger problem at this location than thermal is. So we're not freezing to death as fast as we're losing all of our air. And so that stuff will just craft while I'm taking a sleep over here. I'm not infected or anything, so we're in good shape on that front. Oxygen canister's done. We don't really have that much thirst. We don't tango mucho hambre or sed, so I think we should be all right. Let's go, I guess, tenemos. We'll grab this right here, and I need to fill that, actually. So we'll equip that one right there, and then we'll fill it up at the little terminal over here. There we go. So now we have 2 oxygen canisters, and that'll help us get a little bit further. Downside is that oxygen canisters are kind of heavy, so keep that in mind as well. It looks like that didn't repair as much as I was hoping it would repair while I was sleeping. It repaired a little bit, though. It repaired like 200 units of its durability, and that'll have to do. Let's get back out here. We got to find the oxygen generator, we got to find the power switch, and we got to find the thermal regulator inside the hotel. Otherwise, we cannot get the infection under control. On top of that, each and every one of these locations usually kind of has like an emergent storyline or like characters you can meet inside of them, data logs, stuff like that that kind of tell you how different industries and different scientists and different people were dealing with the fact, oof, we found the stairwell. Okay. Is this the power switch? It appears to be. It's not that much lighter, but hey, it's emergency lighting. I'll take it. We are solid on that front, so this is definitely kind of like the control center. Nothing in any of the consoles. Nothing on any of the desks. What do we have over here on the ground? A monazite ring. Yeah, I'll take it. What is that right there? Oh, it's just a small side bag. Okay, that's what I've got on my back right now, and it's my merce, okay? Don't be disrespecting my merce. I'll have you know that in Space Age Mars, this is really cool, all right? I'm like really, really hippin' with it. You wouldn't understand, Earther, all right? Men, we have back-mounted purses up here in space. That's part of the deal that you signed on for when Elon fired our asses up here. Please die. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna leave that eyeball sitting right where it's at because I don't need it right now. What's inside this chest? LEDs, pistons, coils. Yeah, I'll take them for salvage anyways. Why not? And a power charging station right there. Also good to know about. Okay, we have power charging stations. The only thing we don't have down here is oxygen and thermal, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we did find the stairwell. But now that the elevator's on, it may be more effective to use the elevator where we want to go. Because, like, I can go up and down stairs all day getting my cardio in like a mook. Or I think the engineering level on most of these floors is pretty deep down. That would be my guess. So, like, let's just go to the bottom floor. It looks like it actually won't let me. It says that it's powered now, but it's not letting me go to different floors, I guess. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I guess stairs it is. Down we go. Who knew that a hotel could be so 1408 creepy? Obviously the people that directed 1408, which in my opinion, I liked that movie. I saw it when it came out in theaters. I enjoyed it. What's not to enjoy about John Cusack? Keep on blasting. This is usually the point where somebody in the comments will tell me something absolutely terrible that John Cusack did that I was unaware of. This is usually that spot right there. I'll be looking for it when I go through the comments. We've got that over there. Okay. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? You doing all right? You seem a little cranky. Would you like an eternal rest? Nice little nap time? Give you a little 9mm trazodone. Get you feeling good? God. If I run out here, it's okay. I've got a fully charged pistol, too, that has, like, good durability, so we should be all right. However, I do like my little automatic SMG a little bit better. Like my little SMG railgun thing that I've got going on. More spider beasts down in here, huh? Yep, don't want to be near that. And it seems like it's probably hazardous for my health. We'll probably leave the gun repairing the next time I leave the area. This looks like a communal gym. Oh, I was going to say, what is this back here? Like, it's either going to be like a shower room or like a bathroom or something, since the rest of this was a gym. Accuracy is all over the place with this firearm, by the way. It has a lot of spread. What do we have going on here? Large towels, jump ropes, fitness trackers. There's our bathroom right there. No toilet, no turlet in the bathroom, strangely enough. Okay, what's in here? Another zombie? Yeah, I was gonna say, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice, ain't gonna fool me again. Knock you out right there, and we'll cut over to the left. A med crate with a whole bunch of steroids and juice inside of it. Alright. Cabinet, nothing inside of there. You can press Q. It'll highlight everything you can interact with. I find that it's usually fairly obvious. The environmental objects seem to be designed pretty well to help you figure out what is interactable and what is not. But honestly, Subterrain to me has actually been a really cool kind of sweltering, almost like Space Hulk experience. Like, I've enjoyed milling through the locations. I'm about 4 or 5 hours in right now. And I'm not, hey, we found O2 generation. Very nice. That'll take some pressure off. Okay, fill up my oxygen tank. And then over here, what we need to do on this is we need to take out the oxygen filter and put in a new one. There we go. And what you'll see is the O2 level up here in the top left-hand corner. It'll go up to 100%. And then we won't be drawing on our air tank anymore. And that just leaves us with the thermal couple that we need to find down here somewhere, the thermal regulator. Once we swap out the thermal regulator, we should be in pretty solid shape. These zombies do attack your base, by the way. If you let the infection levels get too high, there's kind of like a defense portion of the game where that central area where we do all our crafting will come under attack by the mutant horde, and you'll have to fight them off. And so that's, once again, and oh, my tomatoes are done growing. Nice. Snack, baked beans, take it. I was just talking about how I've been weirdly low on food lately. Let's break out the pistol real fast. Our other gun's starting to get a little bit suspect. Unfortunately, the pistol has a much slower firing rate than everything else, because it's like one of those woom pistols. You know what I'm talking about? Like, in video games, there's always like that subset of pistol. The gun's too hot? Oh no. Oh no, dude. Okay. The gun got too hot and he dropped it. That was my bad. I wasn't paying it. I forgot. The pistol overheats like crazy. That's what I forgot about, is that the pistol gets super hot after like 3 shots. However, it does do a lot more damage than the SMG that I was currently using. It can 3-tap a zombie, and it's way more accurate, too. There are other parts to these guns, so if you look at this guy right here, you can actually go to this right here, and it takes you to a modding menu where you have the barrel, you have the receiver, and you have the compensator. You can research and find different barrels, receivers, and compensators. If you go to areas that are like law enforcement areas, you'll have a better chance of finding weapons technology. Since we're inside of a hotel, I wouldn't hold out too much hope unless there's a guard station that we're going to find anything too useful around here. Elevator isn't powered. Yeah, so let's go ahead and it's probably in here, right? Yep, there it is. Power that up. Okay. That's looking... What's down this way, though? Ah, another stairwell. I don't know if we should go deeper. Our thermal canister's getting kind of low. But this is probably the point where I could tell you about the game and tell you my reservations about it. Honestly, the game's a little bit repetitive. Like, you do the same stuff at a lot of locations, which is like find power switch, you know, swap out thermal regulator, swap out oxygen generator, make life easier, continue adventure inside terrifying zombie-infested location. I do think that the biggest problem here, though, is going to be the fact that the game is just inaccessible. Like, it's a really hard game to pick up. The game tries to explain all of its mechanics to you, but the crafting system has so many moving parts, and they throw, like, all of them at you at the same time without really too much explanation. And if you do get an explanation, it's usually like back-to-back-to-back blocks of text that pop up on screen. That's going to be the biggest thing, is just learning to play the game and learning all the facilities and where they're at and what they do and like where your inputs go and where your outputs go. And this is one of those games that is not explained super well. Some people are going to like that. Like, I sort of liked the foreign nature of it, where I'm trying to figure out how to hook together this space station and maintain it by myself, even though it's meant to have like an entire city's worth of people living here. Like, I thought that was kind of cool and kind of fun. But other people might find it really disorienting and hard to get into. I don't know. It took me a couple hours to really get comfortable with the game and its interface last night. And I think that's going to be the main filter for people buying the game, basically, and trying to get into it. Other than that, there's not a huge amount of enemy variety. You are going to spend... I mean, I would say this isn't even like a zombie apocalypse game. I would say that this is a game that's more about maintaining a space station that's falling apart and trying to hold an infection at bay, and the minutia and kind of like the repetitive actions that go into that. I would say that if you enjoy zombie survival games, but you also enjoy kind of like mundanity simulators, like Viscera Cleanup Detail, where a lot of the time you're going to be looking for the same prompts, the same objects inside each location, and kind of like maintaining these things that are slowly wearing down and farming materials to keep maintaining other systems and upgrading them, slowly but surely getting stronger. You'll probably like this game a lot, and that's the kind of game that I really get into. But there is a level of repetition here that I will filter something. I do think we'll filter some people out when placed in combination with kind of the inaccessible nature of learning all the game systems one by one. But like, other than that, I had a really great time coming back to Subterrain for the first time in like a decade and just like checking it out. And since we've been covering other older stuff on the channel, I figured nobody would mind, especially since there are no things that I'm interested in right now really coming out. It's pretty much just all stuff that I don't really like playing. Card games, you know. Ow, I got slapped. I got slapped. Card games, you know, platformers, puzzle games, stuff that my channel generally doesn't do. And that's just where I've been at for a couple of weeks now. So I figured this would be a fun way to go back through and find things that I LP'd way back in the past, and then maybe put them through their paces with like an impression guy's eyes, so that there's an updated video on the channel for people to peruse just in case they need it. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. This is Subterrain. Subterrain has another game coming out very, very soon. Subterrain Moons of Titan, where this same thing is happening like on a different planet with a different corporate installation, and they've got their own set of issues and CRPG influences to play around with. I like this game. I think it's very, very unique on Steam. I recommend it if you don't mind a little bit of repetition, and you don't mind that there's not that many enemy varieties, and you don't mind that there's not that much of, and you don't mind that there's no tutorials, and there's a pretty solid learning curve. But other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Take care, folks, and that's about all I got for you. Bye.